Obviously a heartbreaking loss in the end, but how do you assess the night as a whole?
Yeah, I'm sure it was an entertaining game. They always are when they're close like that, and there was some good footy played. But from our point of view, we've just got a part of our game that's just not quite where it needs to be at the moment, and it put us under too much pressure. We played a fair bit of the game in an area that was hard to stop. I think they had 60 inside 50s. We lost that stat by a substantial amount, but we did take our opportunities when they came, and kept the game reasonably interesting towards the end. I thought we had our opportunity to maybe, it's not so much steal it, but you're not going to win too many games with some of the stats lines that came out from this one, unfortunately.
What was the message to the players? Because I'm sure, like you said, they probably felt they could have even maybe pinched it.
Well, the message is a balance between, we pushed a very good side right to the limit at their home deck. We haven't won a lot of footy down here, but at the same time, there's an area that the standout that we just have to be better at. And I thought we sat down and talked about where they beat us substantially in that ground ball battle, and so. When you're playing that way and you're up against the likes of Jeremy Cameron in a forward line and you've got 60 inside 50s against, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. And so, I know Jezza, he's too good for us to give that many opportunities to. That's something we've got to be better at.
Just obviously Riley's so dominant in the ruck. What do you shift to try and change, the situation in terms of Geelong being so dominant with those clearances and that sort of thing? How do you, maximise an asset that you have like that?
It's exactly what we try to work through on the game, and it was, if there's a stat that we dominated, it was hit-outs, but we need to be better with our connection on that. How are we making the most of those? Because they end up beating us in ground ball in around those stoppages and taking far too many footies away from there. We set up the game to come in and we have an approach that we want to play it at a certain end of the ground. We didn't do that tonight. We did get some ruck dominance, but we'll go away and work on that. It's one we got some score from stoppage, but we should be getting a lot more footy out of there.
I might have missed your answer before, but considering they were playing for the top 4 spot, you guys don't have the same level of motivation to impress that effort to push them to the very end.
Oh, we have plenty of motivation. We haven't spoken about any drop off or any reason to drop off. We were coming down here to win a game of footy, so it's not a motivation issue. At the moment, it's we have improvement that's needed because we will fight and we'll give everything we possibly can. Tonight was almost like we were on the ropes and we were just covered up. Then we'd throw a couple of punches back at them and then we'd cover up again. It was, we want to play footy in a slightly different style to that. We were motivated to come down here and perform well.
Was it the response you wanted? I know you were clearly very unhappy after that Hawthorn second half. In terms of a response, how was it? Was it what you wanted or was it lacking, I guess?
No, the response this week was, the level of play that we brought this week was far higher than last. We had our challenges with that. We had a number of players come back, the first hit-outs for a while. Matt Crouch, that's his first game. Josh Worrell as well. We haven't seen those guys for a while, so they'll be better for the run, as they say in horse racing. They add that little bit more experience to us. Nick Murray as well. So to have some of those guys, come back in, I think is always going to help. There's a tipping point when it comes to your experience levels, and I guess we put ourselves in the fight. We had an opportunity tonight. If we were good enough in the last couple of minutes of the game, unfortunately, we weren't quite.
The Cats just seem to have that territory. They won the territory game for that last 10 minutes. It's pretty hard to beat here. Did you feel they just really got the edge in that last 5 to 10 minutes? The game was really in the balance.
Yeah, they did. They lifted. In the end, we had that momentum on our side in that third quarter, and it's an interesting one because we'd normally call the sub in around that point, maybe at latest three-quarter time. But we felt the momentum was with us and we didn't want to, I guess, disturb that. Now, good sides don't allow you to keep that for too long. Geelong are a very, very good side. They came out in that fourth and just, again, had us right back in that D50. We tried a couple of things, to get ourselves out of there, but we're up against a very good side.
Forward line were pretty dangerous at times, whether it was in the air at ground level as well. You kicked those 4 goals in red time, plus felt like Fogarty and Walker and Phil Thorpe got you back or kept you in the contest in the second quarter as well with their aerial dominance. So there's a bit to work with there, isn't there?
Oh yeah, we know that. We've got a lot to work with, and we did have our times. I thought at times we did dominate the air when we went forward. Overall there were a couple of real positives out of it. Our actual defence, when we got an opportunity, was quite strong. Against Geelong, it's a pretty tough game to outmark Geelong. They're a very good team with the ball in hand. We were able to do that tonight. So there were different areas of our game that we did bring. There's a really important one that we didn't, and so that just made the game a little harder for us. And I think if we get that part right, then maybe there's a different result.
What's the feeling like? Just a bit of a mixture of proud of the fight. You've got some obvious potential, but just disappointing to lose again.
That's the feeling. The feeling. I think it's obviously we're not in it. We don't come to these games to just fight. We come here to win. So there's a disappointment in it, but there's also a clear understanding of if we want to win these areas. So the clarity's there. It's just our ability to now learn and keep stepping up. And at the moment, we want to knock those ones over and get a win and walk out of here. We haven't done it for too long.
Joshua Shelley, it felt like he had some big moments. I know he kicked the last goal, but in that run when you went hot as well, I guess encouraging to see those moments that you obviously know he can have in terms of being a turner game in your favour. Yeah,
it'll be a big call, but I thought that was his best game that he's played since he's been at the footy club. And I hope I'm not being disrespectful to him because he's had some good games across the short journey so far. I don't know what his stats were. I don't care what his stats were, but he put his head over it and he competed for us. And he's been working on that. And I was actually really proud to watch him go out there today. I thought he was the difference, especially in that period where we started to get ourselves back into it. And it's never just one player, it's the team, but I thought he led from the front. There were a couple of really tough balls that he went for. So it's a good sign for Josh and where he's trying to get to.
And Stuart was another pretty big force for them as well, Brendan too as well. Pretty good game. He's pretty hard man to stop.
He is. And if they're able to set up the ground the way they want, he sits in a really strong position for them. And as you mentioned, he's one of the best in the competition, if not the best at the position he's playing. I know he's mixing that up a little at the moment, but he just reads the game well. We felt like tonight wasn't necessarily, he wasn't as dominant as he has been against us in the past, but there are other areas we didn't quite get right.
Just injuries-wise, did you come out of this one?
Touch wood. Yeah, I believe we're okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.